against this. Seals, you're going to see more people clapping for joy after Sirianni fired since JB's funeral. Dude, Hurts lied to me. Here's by the way, Abe dropping F-bombs on my radio show today. He was so pissed today. He called into my radio show in Tampa this morning. He's dropping F-bombs. I'm like, and I had to remind him, yeah, this ain't the JAKIB show here where you can kind of slip in an F-bomb every now and then. This guy's dropping an F-bomb on my on a 50,000 watt radio station. How you doing? It's all good, Abe. No, we're boys, man. We're good. It's good. Abe's dropping F-bombs. Guy called me too, and he goes, did he drop an F-bomb? I said, no, I think he said frickin'. So we're good. Abe was on fire, though. Mailata and Lane are pissed for sure. Can't wait for all the old linemen to retire or request a trade. Sills. Okay? Sills, congratulations on Sirianni. Hang on, not yet. Listen, man, I'm telling you, this is boom or bust. This is going to be boom or bust here. Now, I do have this one here. Stoutland's leaving the building. By the way, Stoutland didn't retire because Jeff Stoutland said he's still going to coach. He's going to take some time and he's going to coach again. It's just not going to be in Philly. This, folks, this ain't a retirement. Okay? This is not a retirement. This is a guy who was pushed out the door. And get this. I'm surprised that there's not a lot of Philly people doing this. Hey, it's time for him to go. What if Stoutland goes to the Giants? If I were a football team right now and I was in the process of filling out my coaching staff, if I were the Buccaneers, I would hire him in 5 seconds. Shit, if I was the University of Miami, where he was before, I'd get on the horn and hire him. Seems like Manning is bringing in who he wants. SS. You mean Nick? How is Patullo gone? How is Stoutland gone before Patullo? Oh, yeah. By the way, Kevin Patullo is still going to be part of the offensive game plan. Jeff Stoutland's not. I feel like Andy Reid will call up Stoutland. Why not? Dude, it'd be a massive upgrade. A massive upgrade. He is so revered. Stoutland is staying in the NFL. I agree. He isn't going to college. Be real, Sills. So wait a minute. If Indiana called and offered him $5 million to coach the O-line or $3 million to coach the O-line, you're saying he wouldn't go? I don't think you're understanding, senor, the kind of price that coaches are making in college football. Here, let me give you watch this. I'll show what coaches in college football right now are making $18 million. They're making as much as NFL head coaches. How much does let's say Alabama? How much does the Alabama O-line coach make? Chris Kalafik makes $1.3 million. I mean, how much does Jeff Stoutland make? Let's see if they publish that. How much does Stoutland make? How much does Jeff Stoutland make? I thought he'd be the highest paid coach. How much does Jeff Stoutland make a year? They don't. Stoutland was they don't really have his number here. So how much is an elite offensive line coach, NFL offensive line coach make? How much does an NFL or a college football or an NFL O-line coach make? Between 100 and 600 grand. NFL O-line coaches. Now, those are base, not the elite guys like Bill Callahan and him. I'm sure he's making $1 million. So, dude, you're hey, like I said to you, man. Okay. Let's see here. This is Howard Eskin here. Hopefully, Howard. So Howard said this. I'm probably gonna be a little later than 4:30. Got tied up with things. Awesome. We'll be waiting. We will be waiting. Okay, so Howard's gonna join us a little bit after 4:30, so he'll be with us. Seals, didn't you say KP is good at designing plays, but Jalen's unwilling to run them? Yeah. That's been a forte. That's what Frank Reich told me about him. He says he's really good at designing plays. He's really good at putting plays together. He's really good at putting route trees together. But when it came to situational play calling, we never knew, and he never knew. Even Frank didn't know what he was going to be like. So, I mean, yeah, hey, it's the same price for college coaches. Could you imagine how hard this team would have played for Stoutland as head coach? Hey, just because you're a great offensive line coach, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great head coach. And maybe Stoutland never really wanted to do that. I know that he was the interim head coach at the University of Miami. I believe after Randy Shannon got fired, or maybe it was Al Golden. I think it was maybe Al Golden that was the head coach at UM. Okay. Let's see here. Will Lane Johnson walk away from a $40 million signing bonus? Depends how hurt he is. Stoutland grew disgruntled this season when Sirianni, then offensive coordinator Kevin Petullo, incorporated new run designs down the stretch of the 25 campaign that saw the Eagles' offensive line battle injuries and deal with regression in the production on the ground. I saw that report too, Catch. That's Jeff Stoutland's fault. So they blamed the run game inefficiencies on him. That they blamed the inefficiencies of the ground game on Jeff Stoutland. Is that right? This has become a national story now. By the way, I mean, it's everywhere. You pushed, and there's no doubt Jeff Stoutland's not happy. He didn't thank the Eagles. He didn't thank Lori. He didn't thank anybody. He just said, hey, thank you, Philly, which is the coolest thing he could do, is thank the Philly fans, because you guys have been great to him. Everybody that mentions the Philadelphia Eagles mentions Jeff Stoutland. Mike Martz, great coordinator, crappy head coach. I actually know Coach very well. Now, see what this guy does. You talk about a guy who makes things up. Look at this. This is the guy that stands on an anthill and waves his hands. That's a guy who stands on a little anthill, looks up like this, with his Howie knee pads. Like this. Nick's a snake. Told people This, I bet you, he whispered it was Stoutland's fault to Howie. You're the one dramatizing this. Dramatizing? Okay. You must, if you think it's cool, dude, it's all right. You're an idiot. Nobody takes what you say serious anyway. You're the ultimate knee dragger. Seriously, like I said, you're like the little bird in the nest that's waiting for his worm to be fed to him. You think Mannion really held an offensive coaching meeting without Nick? Run game coordinator just got hired from Green Bay? No. Nick runs the show. Big Sills Mailata's on Radio Row, not holding back. He's pissed. Wait a minute. He laughed when he asked him how Eagle fans should feel. He was definitely upset. Well, get this. They're going to reach out to him, and they're going to tell him to shut it down. And he will shut it down. So they better put a microphone in front of him as much as they possibly can. Because as soon as his cell phone's going to start ringing, hey, dude, we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation here. That's right. Bob Lang incoming. I don't care what. Hey, listen, by the way, NFL football teams change all the time. Jeff Stoutland's been in a place a long time in NFL standards. But let me see how many years.